Victor. I'm here with a new series, and this time is focused on the 7th edition rules and how I see the units. So it's a series where I will analyze blocks of units from different codexes, and I decided to start with the Death Guard units because I'm really analyzing it recently, because I'm trying to organize my part of my Chaos Army, and one part I want to focus now is on Death Guard. So here I will try to analyze in this video all the HQs, starting with the Demon Prince, and I will give my perspective. So Demon Prince, as you can see here, is have movement 8 and have 2+ weapon skill, 2+ ballistic skill, have strength 7, toughness 6, 8 wounds, have 4 attacks, leadership 10, and 3+ save, plus the 5+ because he's demon. Has a lot of special rules. So he also can attempt to do manifest 1 power in each friendly secret phase, and he can deny 1 power. So have a small, I would say, psyker abilities. So he's clearly a close combat creature. I don't think there is any way to put him a shooting weapon at this moment. If we look at the options, so the ballistic skill is not going to be used unless, and even the power weapon, the secret powers have not use of the ballistic skill. So it's going to be mainly a close combat guy, and all the different options, having demonic axe, hellforge sword, or having 2 pairs of malefic talons, all these options are costing 10 points. Okay, so I will say, yeah, demonic axe is really to go for strong enemies, but you are losing weapon skill. At that point, I will think that for me the hellforge sword is more flexible. But I will say that maybe the best option, or the option that I like the most, I have to say, is the malefic talons, that they give you 3 additional attacks. So you can choose if you have 5 attacks or you have 7 attacks. 7 attacks of strength user and 2 damage, and with the -2, or if you go with the demon axe and then you have 4 attacks with demon axe plus 1 attack with the malefic talons. I think it's always recommended to put him the flying option. I don't know why, I don't see why you will not do that, and I need to check how much is the cost, but yeah, for me it's a no-brainer. So always put the flying option. I think it's not here, it's on the facts. So it's a guy that is costing, the Demon Prince will come with 156 points plus the flying option. So I guess it's 20 points. So it's going to go close to the 200 points. And if you're going to have a guy that is mainly a close combat guy, it gives the roll hits of 1. So also it's have this aura effect at 6 inches, and yeah, and also have the psyker. So I think it's not a bad option. So it's an option that I like if you want something strong and cannot be targeted because he's a character. So we have here, so cannot be targeted from the distance unless you have snipers. The next option we have here, and I will compare both two. So we have Typhus, and we have the Lord of Contagion. Typhus is costing 175. The Lord of Contagion, as it comes like here, that is with the Plague Reaper. Okay, so the Lord of Contagion is costing 120 plus the Plague Reaper, that is 30 points. So it's 120 plus 30, it's 150. So it's 150 compared to 175. So, and they have all the same rules. So if I go up again, they have all the same rules. So the same profile, same rules. The only thing is that the Typhus have the Destroyer Hive, the Mastercrafted Man Reaper, and Blight Grenades. Why the Lord of Contagion can have the Plague Reaper, or can be cheaper if you take the Man Reaper. The Man Reaper in principle is just 17 points, so it's a little bit cheaper. The Lord of Contagion does not have shooting ability, okay, and does not have psychic abilities. So I will say, from my point of view, for 25 points more, I will decide to go to Typhus that have much more ability. So with Typhus you have the Hive, the Destroyer Hive, and you have on top the the host of the Destroyer, that is the friendly units of power, so that you give +1 to strength and toughness to the pox walkers that are within 7 inches of Typhus. So it's creating it's making them much more durable, much more dangerous as well, and yeah, and all this, and have all the rules that have as well the Lord of Contagion. So to be fair, the Lord of Contagion is for me a lighter version of the Typhus. If you only take one of these characters, I will say let's go for Typhus. They also have the NURGLE gift, both of them have. So give Lord of Contagion are surrounded by a deadly hour disease. So roll a dice for each enemy unit within 1 inch, and affected friendly units that starts on your turn. And on 4+ enemy units suffers a mortal wound. So if you have units within 7 inches of friendly Lord Contagion are surrounded by a deadly aura of disease, okay, roll for dice for each enemy unit within 1 inch of these units that are at 7 inches. So indeed it's about 7 inches away, even more. And on a 4+ you cause mortal wounds. So it's causing mortal wounds. It's not giving any bust to surrounded units, but you can give this bust and this boost in time of psychic power. So when the psychic powers of NURGLE, just summarizing, there are 3 that are to do direct damage to the opponents. I have the book just next to me. So we have 3 that are to make direct damage. There are 2 to make your units stronger, and there is 1 to hoax the enemy. So yeah, really you can give this boost, or you can do more additional damage with the psychic powers. Of course, both of them are lacking distance effect, except Typhus that can do some distance damage with the psychic powers, but they don't have, the only thing they have is 6 inches with the Typhus, that they have the Bright Grenades and the Destroyer Hive that is just 6 inches away. The Destroyer Hive is quite strong. It's a pistol that has 2d6 strength 4 -3 AP, so it goes, it's very strong against the Space Marines and Armored Infantry. So if I have to choose one of 2, I will choose Typhus, and both are close combat type of guys. The Chaos Lord, it's have not, the first thing that you will see is that it has not the disgustingly resilience, and have not the +1 toughness that we are used on NURGLE units. So it's just a Chaos Lord. It's more personalized, so you have more options there. You can take combi weapons, you can take other options on melee weapons, but it's more a generic Chaos Lord that is have the Death Guard and the NURGLE keywords. You have also the 4+ save. It's only 3+ because it's on servo armor, but I will say, yeah, and in terms of point, the Chaos Lord, it's 74. So if you want a cheap option, I think Chaos Lord can be the way to go. You, for 74 points plus equipment, you will have a Chaos Lord. So you will be on the run, I guess, 100 points if you don't go crazy. Because if you go just with the chainsaw and the pistol and Bright Grenades, you don't pay anything. So it's 74 points if you really want to go very cheap. But I will think that there are cheaper options, there are more interesting options also cheap to take into account. You can take, if you want, then later on a combi weapon. Let me see, combi melt or combi plasma will be 15 points. If you go for that option, yeah, I will try to keep it low. If you start spending points on equipment, I recommend to go to Typhus. Okay, Lord is a cheap option, and Chaos Lord in Terminator Armor, it's 105 points. I will say if you go for that, why not to take the Lord of Contagion? So I don't see the benefit of that. The only benefit is that the Chaos Lords, the main thing is if in case you want to reroll once of the disguise within 6 inches. But take into account that most likely they will have a little bit of shooting. Just for if you want to go to close combat, normally the Lord of Contagion and Typhus are coming much better equipped. When you start equipping that, Chaos Lord will go close to the cost of a Lord of Contagion, and I will say for that, let's go to Lord of Contagion. I think it's better. Really, the disgustingly resilience and the +1 toughness it's increasing the durability. So I don't see why to spend points. I will say let's go for the Lord of Contagion. This is my solution. Then we have the Sorcerer and the Sorcerer and Terminator, and I will compare as well with the Malignant Plaguecaster. And I think the Malignant, all of them can try to cast 2 psychic powers. All of them will know Smite and 2 NURGLE powers, and all of them can try to deny 1 psychic power. So in terms of psychic power, they are exactly the same. In terms of synergies, they don't have really synergies with your army except the psychic powers. Okay, as you see, the abilities is just Death to the False Emperor, and I will say the Malignant and Plaguecaster on top has the +1 toughness and the disgustingly resilience, and they also have the Pestilent Fallout. Each time a model successfully manifests a psychic power with a psychic test of 7, the nearest enemy unit within 7 inches. That is going to be very situational, but you can do an additional what you call this mortal wound. Okay, so let's look just the points. So the Chaos, the Sorcerer is 90 points, the Sorcerer Intermediate Army is 140 points, and the Malignant Plaguecaster is 110 points. So to be fair, for 20 points, I think I will pay for the disgustingly resilience and the +1 toughness. Okay. Terminator Armor in case you want something really durable. But yeah, you have +2 to the save, but you don't have the +1 on toughness, and you don't have the disgustingly resilient. So for me, if you want a caster, I will say my first option will be to go for the Malignant Plaguecaster. The casters normally will do this support. It's a unit that you want to try to keep away, but in case there is a shooting or something like that, you want to have some saves. If you don't go for them, you want something really cheap, then choose the Sorcerer. I don't look to the equipment, because once you put the equipment, it's going to be more or less the cost of the same cost for all the units on the equipment. So these two guys have the same equipment, except the Sorcerer can have some additional option, that is the Plasma Pistol. Really, I don't know if you want to invest on the Plasma Pistol, if you want to go cheap. The Malignant Plaguecaster, yeah, have other options, but if you see that he has the Corrupted Staff is costing 0 points. Okay, so so indeed, once you start adding the cost, because here you don't add any cost, so it's 110 points and you have everything. In that case, it's 90 points, and then you have to add the cost of one of the, or at least you have to add the cost of the Force Sword, and the Force Sword is 14 points, 12 points, sorry. So you will go 102. So it's only 8 points of difference between the Sorcerer and the Malignant Plaguecaster. I think for this 8 points difference, wrong. Let me check. I will double check here the points. The Malignant Plaguecaster is 100. Yeah, it's 110 versus 102. So for these 8 points, I don't think it's worth to go to the Sorcerer. So as I said, for me, the best option in terms of sorcerers is the Malignant Plaguecaster. And then I would like to, I know that it's not HQ, but it's quite iconic one, is an iconic character. I would like also to review just Mortarion on this part, just to show the, he's a black one. So let me go back to the, let me go to Mortarion. I went a little bit too far. Here it is. So Mortarion, it's, of course, it's a what's called a Lord of War. Okay, and it's costing, let me say here, it's costing 470 points. So of course he's a killing machine. He's really good killing mass units. So as you can see, his close combat, unless you do the eviscerating blow. So you can, he has this versatility. So you can choose 2 profiles, or you can use, here we have, can be 6, 5, 4 attacks at a strength 16 -4 and d6 damage. And this, of course, is when you are trying to hit big vehicles or strong enemy units. Or you go with multiple attacks with 1 wound, but you make 3 attacks for each attack. What that means that you will make 18, 15, or 12 attacks. So this the first option is really when you go against a unit, a big unit with a lot of elements inside. If you go against just one enemy, if it's one enemy with low armor value, maybe this is more stable, more reliable. But this can do more damage. So so this is the eviscerating is when you are against one enemy, one big enemy, or enemies that have like the imagine that you are against Terminators with 3 wounds or 4 wounds, the elite Terminators. So it's, I think it's better to use this. That you, if you hit, you do 6 mortal wounds. If they have, if you go against infantry, it's better to use normally the ripping side. So it's very flexible. He can deal with a lot of enemies. Also have quite a good shooting. It's not too short range. The movement is not that bad because normally you will be able to move 12, 10, or 8. So it's not that bad. Of course, he's not. He has more than 8 wounds, so he can be targeted anywhere. He's also have aura of to boost your units, have an aura to hog the enemy. So it's really doing a little bit of everything. Of course, it's costing 470 points, so he can do that. He also do more mortal wounds, and on top, he is a psychic power that can manifest 2 psychic. Is a psyker that can manifest 2 psychic powers, and knows 3 psychic powers from the Contagion, Discipline plus Smite. So really, if you look for this ultimate warrior, Mortarion can be the guy. Be aware, it's very difficult to kill as well because have toughness 7. He has 3+ save. He has 4+ save invulnerable, so you will never go worse than 4+ save. And he has disgustingly resilient. So it's really resilient, this guy. Okay, so it's going to be the enemy have to commit a lot of firepower or a lot of attacks to bring Mortarion down. Okay, so he's really strong. It's 470 points. I think when you go high in points, it's going to be worth to invest on this guy, right? But you will need an HQ, so he is not taking the HQ possibility. So let's go back to the HQs and let's rank them, because I would like to finalize this video ranking what I consider for me that are the best or the most interesting HQs from my point of view, and I will explain why. Okay, so we have seen that we have mainly 2 types of HQs. We have the close combat HQs, and then we have the casters. Okay, these are the 2 types we have. From my point of view, the first I like the most is the Demon Prince with wings. I will always go with Demon Prince with wings. In the FAQ there is the cost of, so in the facts that you can find in the Games Workshop website, the Demon Prince with wings is costing 170 points. So 180 points, you have a thing that is very good in close combat. It's going to be very strong. It's going to have a small help to your units that are close by with this reroll to Death Guard and NURGLE demons, not only Death Guard. So this is also interesting. So it's also synergizing with all the NURGLE demons, even the ones that are not in this codex. And have the disgustingly resilience that it adds survivability to the Demon Prince. Remember, the save is not going to be that good, so 3+ save, that is going to be in the worst case 5+ save. So we'll never go farther than 5+ save. So it's quite a good option. I will say my second option is the Typhus over the Lord of Contagion, because I like this option because he can manifest also one psychic power, and yeah, although his match is lower, Typhus is 175, so, and it's more or less the same cost as the Demon Prince. It's going to be as well quite resilient, 2 wounds difference, but have the 2+ save, not as high toughness as Demon Prince. He has 6, and this guy have 5, but it's going to be not that difference when we go, and also can display quite a good amount of damage. 4 attacks with 3 damage, and with a strength 7 is quite a good, is quite interesting. On top have the Destroyer Hive that we will add on top of that. So I think it's a good option. Also the invulnerable save is better. So in terms of survivability, I'm not sure who is better. I will say maybe Typhus is more survivable. Also have the teleport strike, so you can deploy them at 9 inches from the enemy directly, what makes him quite interesting. And the third option for me, and so this is going to be my top 3 on this part, is going to be the Malignant Plaguecaster. He's if you look for a caster and something that is a little bit cheaper, you go with the Malignant. Is 110 points, and you don't invest in any other thing. So for 110 points, you have a guy that can cast 2 powers. He has this ball pistol, have the grenades, and it's decent in close combat, so it's not that bad. Okay, he has his 3 attacks, but really is more there to cast some powers. So this is going to be my top 3. As I will say, there is not huge, and there is not guys like Gilman or guys that they give a lot of the rolls or something like that. Normally, unless we use the psychic power. So if you really want to play the supporting character, you need to use one of the casters and use their appropriate psychic powers. As I say, we can go a little bit more deeply, but I don't want to make this video too long. So we have the first one, that is the Miasma of Pestilence, that until the start of the next phase, your opponent must subtract 1 to the hit rolls. I think this is very good. I really like the Miasma of Pestilence to protect your units. So making you really, everything on NURGLE is about to be resilient and almost to make mortal wounds. Then we have the Gift of Contagion, that is to make the enemy worse. The Plague Wing, that is a way to give mortal, to evoke mortal wounds. We have the Putrefaction, that is at the start of the next physical phase, add 1 to all wound rolls made by a unit in the fight phase. So it's another booster. And then we have the Percent Vitality, that is also a booster. Until the start of the next phase, add 1 to the strength and toughness characteristics. And this have to be manifested to a visible friendly Death Guard unit within 18 inches. So we have 3 ways to empower our units if you want to play that duel, and then the last one is also a way to make mortal wounds. So you have 3 ways to make mortal wounds if we add a smite on that, and then we have hawks. So yeah, if you want something more subtle, you go for the Plaguecaster. If you go for something more brutal, more into the close combat, you go for the Demon Prince, or you go for Typhus. And if you are playing a lot of what's called this, I forgot the name, Box Walkers, Typhus maybe is better than the Demon Prince. So for me, Typhus and Demon Prince are more or less there. I like maybe a little bit more Demon Prince because the mobility of the wings. Typhus is super slow. Once is in the battlefield, will almost not move from the spot he is. It's only 4 inches move. While with wings, on the Demon Prince, you will move. Sorry, we have here 12. Okay, so those are my options. This is my point of view. This is my choices on NURGLE, Demon Prince, Typhus, and the Malignant Plaguecaster. I will say this is my top 3. Of course, Mortarion for me, it's a great option for big points. And although sometimes the enemy can be very frustrated because it's going to be quite difficult to kill. It's killable. Everything is killable in 40k. But Mortarion requires a lot of commitment to be bring down. That's all for now. Please let me know. Give in the comments below what is your favorite HQ from the Death Guard, and what do you think, how they look like. I'm mistaken. If I do any mistakes, please leave it in the below. I would like to start any discussion in more detail on what do you think about the the Death Guard units. That's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.